Alright, hey guys. Welcome back to Two Paranormal Guys Beyond the Grave. This episode is sponsored by Taco Bell Nacho Fries. That's right, they're back. We're not sponsored by Taco Bell Nacho Fries, are we?
But they're back.
Should we call Taco Bell?
They are... So when we started off going to Cohoes Falls, we completely thought that it would be one of our urban legends locations, but it wasn't. Turns out we got a couple things that had us a little confused. So turns out we had enough evidence that had us on the edge of our seat. Hopefully it was the same for y'all. And we decided to go back for night 2, which you saw.
And it kind of fucked us over because we only really had 2 locations for urban legends that were like investigations.
Yeah, really.
Like you saw last week, it's a pretty short episode because we have a place that we kind of just talk about and then a place we actually investigated. Yeah. So it was definitely shorter than our other episodes, but I think what happened at Cohoes and just the location of Cohoes itself really makes for it. I use the burp as an up. It's the biggest waterfall east of Niagara Falls. I actually went back last week, and it was frozen.
Ooh.
Which was super cool. Not like completely, there was still some water coming down, but the difference between like now and when we went and investigated is so much. There's a lot of it frozen over.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
It was super cool.
Started out with EVP and didn't really get any solid words or phrases or anything like that. Just a couple noises. So unfortunately, nothing that can be super conclusive and labeled as an intelligent spirit, but still got some interesting noises at the very least. And then we let Benny take over.
I got the little zip noise that we don't really know much about.
And then the orb.
And well, the orb was before the zip noise. Actually, they
were
within a few seconds.
Top of your head.
No, they were. It was right before the zip.
Oh.
I was also touched while filming Connor, or it felt like I was touched. I don't know how I feel about that one going forward, but I noticed it, which is interesting. And that was the start of us developing the idea that maybe there was some connection between myself and whatever was there. There was also Connor thought he saw a face behind me on the camera when we were filming. Not in the episode.
Yeah. Not in the episode, but it had me convinced at the time. The whole rest of the night, I was expecting to get home and see that face on the camera. Then
I remember getting back in the car, and Connor said to me, is any part of your family Native American? And I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, so I was like, no, I'm European. And he said, then I don't understand.
I feel like he's got a bit of a connection.
I'm not Native American.
I'm not saying that's your connection. I'm saying, obviously, if there's something here, they haven't, said anything to me or done anything to me. It's all been around you.
Maybe she was also a sarcastic asshole.
Maybe.
We had some theories about it that were really interesting. It was a rough time. I don't really like being up at college all the time, and that was one of those times I really didn't. And Connor had a theory that maybe the spirit was trying to comfort me because it could sense my sadness. That leads us into night 2.
So basically, the burst sessions on EVP are when you ask, a question or two, just go for maybe a minute, minute and a half, and then immediately review your evidence there on the spot. So that way you can see if there were any answers. You can, sort of tailor your investigation to the information that you're receiving at that point. We really just wanted to see if we could get an intelligent answer after the first night didn't really get us anything.
I'm 100% certain it was me. I lined it up with the video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's. I think we figured that out in New York, but forgot. Like, 100% it's me laughing, because you made a face at me, and then I go... This birth session was part of a theory that we were trying to test. Connor believed that after speaking to Bob and Kel of the Cohoes Paranormal Society, they haven't known of anybody to investigate the falls, but people have investigated... Well, they specifically have investigated a house on the street adjacent to the park that we were in.
Mm-hmm.
But because nobody had visited them, Connor believed that it was a possibility the spirit that was there didn't know how to use ghost hunting equipment because it had never seen stuff like that before. First night, if you remember, you said, hey, I heard something, it sounds like a drum. And then when we were listening to burst sessions, the drum sound came again. That whole series of investigations was a time for us to experiment with different methods of investigation. Because we were there for multiple nights. We didn't think we were running out of time. It wasn't a creepy location. It was actually kind of fun. So we were like, fuck it. We'll just do whatever we want here and see what happens.
It's one of the few places where we could truly, experiment, I guess, with what we wanted to do.
Yeah, it allowed us to do stuff outside the box.
A lot of experimenting.
After Connor did his burst, he handed over the mic to me. And I think this night of evidence kind of, it's split in two in this episode. You see the beginning half of my investigation, then you see the second half in part 2 of the episode. But this is the night I think we kind of solidified the idea that I had a connection of sorts. Because the amount of evidence got a little bit higher on night 2. Right? Yeah. We're here on Tuesday night. Hanging out. So we didn't know much about the falls, but we actually went over to Falls View Park, which closes, otherwise we'd be over there right now. Went over there and learned a bit about this area, and it's really damn cool. You may not recognize us.
Well, based on the fact that this light seems to move independently, doesn't seem fixed in one location, it also seems, to kind of go from one side of you to the other. It looks like it's moving on its own. So I could, my explanation, I guess, would be a spirit was there.
I don't think it's a spirit.
No.
I was thinking about this a lot.
No.
I think with time, I become more skeptical of the evidence we find. I'm already skeptical of things, but as time goes on, I believe less and less. Like, at this point in my life, I actually just rewatched all of Season 1, and I believe none of it, even a little bit. There were times when I was like, this could be something, but now I'm like, no. So after finding that piece of evidence, bringing it to light for Connor, and then sitting around and saying, well, what could this be? Because I'm never satisfied with just an answer of I don't know. I think I've come to a fair conclusion. Obviously, you're not going to agree. I do think it's a light behind me. It's really hard to tell how I'm moving in the dark because all you can see is me with no relative idea of what's around me and how I'm moving. So if I take a small step and you don't hear me move and I don't bounce, you can't necessarily tell that I moved. So I think due to the fact that the only reference we really have is that light, it's showing that I moved and not that the light's moving.
I just can't see you possibly moving in the way that the light... the only thing I could say maybe you moved is when the light went from one side to the other, because you were kind of like this and then turned. But while you're just standing there, like we see it keep, a non-steady distance from you. So it's not me moving. If it was you moving, it'd be getting closer or whatever, but it doesn't look like you're moving.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week. Ghosts aren't real. Bye. There's no way that's really it. Oh. I mean, this is more of a water spout than falls, but... Holy shit! Those are the falls! This makes more sense! This is where they actually filmed the Velociraptor scene in the first Jurassic Park. Right there. Yeah? Clever girl.
Hi, ma'am.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're gonna hopefully show some... Don't contaminate the audio.
I just burped. Sorry about that.
We're out here hunting spooky spooks. That's the intro for season 2. I'll come up with something better. Ow, fuck, I got rain in my eye. How's that one?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
In the name of the Father, Son, and nacho fries. Amen. We're back. Over in front of the waterfall. Hey, did you hear that too? I think it's ghosts.